Hi and welcome back to The Books Are Everywhere. So it is Monday, it is the start of a new week. I've just wrapped up last week's weekly reading vlog and I thought I would come and start my next one. So as I'm sure you're aware from the end of last week's vlog, I am currently reading two books which I have talked a little bit about in last week's vlog and at the end of last week's, which is Gods and Monsters and Stay Another Day. I'm really enjoying both of them. As I have literally only just wrapped up last week's vlog, I'm not going to say too much about them, but I am really enjoying both of them and I'm really happy that I'm reading a Christmas book this close to Christmas and I am really enjoying this one. That kind of is really interesting so far. I will talk a little bit more about my thoughts and feelings on this one in this vlog because I didn't really say too much in last week's vlog, but I'm really enjoying it. Something I didn't mention in last week's vlog is this one tackles some really interesting kind of topics. One of the main characters has anorexia, which is really, I say interesting to read about, seems like a bit insensitive. It's obviously a very difficult subject, but I feel like it's tackled very well so far. Obviously I've never dealt with an eating disorder myself, so I can't provide my own personal opinion on that, but I do feel like it's handled quite well. And also there is a non-binary side character which I'm really enjoying reading about them, and I feel like it's woven into the story really well, but also brings in some issues surrounding being non-binary and kind of the things that they might face because of that, which is really interesting. There's also a gay main character, a bi side main character. It's really difficult because all of these siblings have their own like partners and friends and stuff, and now obviously they are also like their side characters, but they're also very much included in the story as well, and their stories are really interesting. And again, as I said, I love that this is set at Christmas. We've also had a flashback so far that was set last Christmas, which was really fun and felt really festive, and I am currently on, I think I've just reached Christmas Eve and I feel like we are building up to something the more family arrives, so I'm very excited to see where this one goes. About to finish Gods and Monsters, which I'm really enjoying, but I will give my full thoughts and feelings on that one probably tomorrow because I'm probably going to finish it tomorrow, so we will see. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this video and enjoy seeing what I'm going to be reading. Hi, it is now Friday, which is very typical of me, but I have been working the past few days as expected. I've been to uni today and I had a haircut, not that you can tell because it's still very long, but you know, you can tell with my fringe. But anyway, I've also finished 3 books since I last spoke to you, I think. So I thought I would update you. I also have one to unwrap and then I will tell you guys what I'm going to be starting next. But yeah, let's dive in with the 3 books that I finished in order of when I finished them. First I finished Gods and Monsters on Tuesday, I think it was, and I actually really enjoyed this one. I found that this one kind of fell between Serpent and Dove and Blood and Honey. I think Blood and Honey was my bottom of the list. Serpent and Dove is definitely still up there, and then Gods and Monsters is in the middle. I was very near the end when I last updated you guys about this, so I won't talk too much about it because I feel like I've said a lot of how I'm feeling about this one and how I felt reading it, but I really enjoyed it. I was glad to see more of a focus on Lou and Reed's relationship again in this one, which was really nice because I did miss a lot of that from Blood and Honey. Really like the found family aspects. The plot was very fast paced, but I preferred the kind of level of action in this one to Blood and Honey, which felt incredibly plot focused and action focused. I feel like this one was a little bit more balanced and I really enjoyed it. I think I'll probably give this one 4, maybe 4.5 stars, but it wasn't a 5. Serpent and Dove was a 5 and I think it will continue to remain that way because I do love Lou and Reed so much, and I was really happy to see reflections of the first book in this one, which I just felt was kind of lost in the second book. But overall I really enjoyed this series and really glad I have finally finished it over a year after starting the first book. And it was really nice to buddy read those with Alex as well. So thank you to Alex for joining me with those. It was really, really fun to read them together. I also finished Stay Another Day by Juno Dawson. I think I have spoken to you about this one already, but this was a very, very high drama Christmas book set at Christmas, based around a family and all of their kind of secrets and lies and things that they're hiding from one another. And there was so many plot twists. This was such a quick one to read. It does deal with some very heavy topics, so I would go into this one carefully if you have any triggers for eating disorders or for self-harm. There was some things that could be triggering in this one, but I really, really enjoyed the drama. It was such a quick read, very, very fast paced. I couldn't put it down. Loved how short the chapters were. I liked the different siblings. I like the different kind of characters they had in here, and yeah, there was a lot to like about this book. If you are into kind of darker drama filled contemporary, I would definitely recommend Juno Dawson in particular. I think this is my favourite fiction book that I've read by her so far. I'm glad that I picked it up. It was cool to read a Christmas book that was a little bit different, not your like typical kind of like classic Christmas story or Christmas contemporary romance. It was a bit different to that, and I really liked it. I thought it was really well done. I think I'll probably give this one 4 out of 5 stars. It wasn't like amazing, it didn't blow me away or anything, but I did enjoy a lot about it. I liked the characters, I liked the discussions that it had, I liked that it had a non-binary side character. I say side character, pretty much a main character, one of the main characters in the book that weren't the siblings themselves or the family themselves. But yeah, really, really liked it. A lot of good things, and I do love this cover as well, with its shiny kind of tinsel look about it. But I also finished another Christmassy book, which was You Can Go Your Own Way by Eric Smith. I don't know if I've spoken about this at all, but I listened to this one on audio, started it the other day, and I've read a lot of it, basically all of it other than like 1.5 chapters on audiobook, because I have been driving so much and I also went for a run today. So I read this pretty much entirely on audio, which I really, really liked the audiobook. I really liked the narrators, and this was just so, so cute. I actually really enjoyed it. This one is more of like a winter book than a Christmas book. It focuses on this kind of winter festival, and there's these two people who were friends and then don't get on or didn't get on at the start of this book, and then they end up having this kind of like Twitter war which actually ends up bringing them closer together, and they get snowed in. The only thing that did disappoint me a bit was the fact that it mentions the snowstorm and the fact they get snowed in on the blurb. However, it doesn't actually happen until quite late on in the book, like over halfway through, so I kind of felt like, oh, I know where this is going, which was a little bit disappointing. However, it was just super, super cute, but also talked about some really hard topics, such as grief and loss, and kind of losing a business as well. I really, really liked this one. I thought it was really good. If you've enjoyed things like Last Chance books, I would definitely recommend this. It's a very typical Harper 360 Harper YA book, and I just love this cover. And I also love how this book focuses on small businesses coming together, which I absolutely love. I feel like we never talk about that stuff unless you kind of work in a place like that, and both the places I work, there is some kind of weird communities around them. One of them isn't a small business, it's a massive chain, but because we're in a shopping centre, we have like a little community with that. And so, like, I've talked on Twitter, because I run the Twitter badly, but I've talked on Twitter to other shops that are in the shopping centre and things like that. So there is definitely like a community with that, which I really liked how it brought that up. But also the pinball arcade, which is one of the main focuses of this book. It was such like a nerdy niche thing, but I loved to hear about it and read about it. I thought it was super, super interesting, and I loved the kind of nerdy side of that. It was great. But yeah, a lot of love for this book. Again, I think it'll be a 4-star. I would highly recommend it if you're looking for something wintry and a little bit festive, but not overly festive. It didn't really bring Christmas into it, but it was very cute, and it was set in winter and there's a snowstorm, and I would definitely recommend reading it this time of year. So books that I'm going to read next, as I'm actually not reading anything right now, I'm going to pick up Mansfield Park on audio, which is the last Jane Austen book that I actually have to read, bar like Sanditon and her short stories. So I'm going to listen to this one on audiobook starting tomorrow, and then my one that I'll actually read physically is Black Joy, and this is an anthology which I think is a non-fiction middle grade anthology written by many authors. I think it's 27? Don't think it says, but yeah, there's quite a lot of authors in this one, and it is celebrating Black Joy, which I'm very excited to read. I think I'll start reading this one tonight. It's something different. I don't usually read a lot of non-fiction, but I'm excited to try this one out. It's on my December TBR, so I'm going to start reading this one tonight and then Mansfield Park tomorrow. And last but not least, I have a parcel to unwrap, which I actually don't know what's in here, and I think it might be a Christmas present. It's a Christmas present. We're not going to unwrap that. We'll just leave that there. But anyway, it's not a book either. But anyway, I'm going to head off now. I thought I'd better update you guys because it has been a couple of days since I've been here, and I feel like I've read a lot since I last spoke to you. But anyway, I'm excited to carry on with my December TBR and read some different things. Excited for Black Joy and for starting Mansfield Park, which I'll probably do tomorrow. I'm working over the weekend, which is no surprise in the run-up to Christmas, but I will try and update you on what I'm reading and how I'm doing and stuff before I end this vlog in a few days' time. Hi, it's Saturday night. I have been at work all day, so I'm quite tired, and I think I'm about to go and have a bath, but I thought I would just update you quickly on what I've been reading since I did yesterday. So I've started Black Joy, which is on my December TBR. I nearly said November TBR. But yeah, this is a compilation of kind of stories, but more, it's non-fiction, so it's kind of like personal stories of Black people and the way that they find joy and Black joy, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I think I've read maybe 5 or so stories. I don't know where I am in this one, but I really like the mixture of, yeah, I've read 4 stories and there's 2 forwards as well by the editors. But yeah, I've read different kind of things about food, about workplaces, about music, and I really like the kind of mixture of focuses in this one. It's really nice to read. I like that there's like quotes and little suggestions of how to kind of interact with the book as well, like go and read this poem or listen to this song or give your friend a ring or things like that. I really like that. So I'm really enjoying this one so far, but I forgot to take it to work with me. So I ended up picking up a book that was actually sent to me by the publishers and I received today at work. And I started reading it, and that is Crying in H-Mart, and I received this one from the publisher. I requested it because it sounded super interesting. I gotta admit, I didn't think it was a memoir, I did think it was fiction, but thank you so much to the publishers for sending me this one because I have been really excited for it. It's published by Picador, and I actually watched Peru's Project talk about it in a video, I think, not so long ago, and it just really intrigued me, so I decided to request it. And this is basically the story of Michelle, who's an Asian American growing up with her mother, and her mother passes away. It's a very true story. It's about her own life, and there's a lot of talk about food, which I really enjoy, and there's a lot of talk about Korea. She's from Korea, her family's from Korea, and I really enjoyed this so far. I've read 50 pages at work today on my breaks, and it's weird, I don't usually read a lot of non-fiction, and now I've picked up 2 in one go, and they're both kind of orange as well, which I like. But yeah, I decided to pick this one up over the other book that I had an option to choose because honestly it just really intrigued me and I wanted to start it. So I'm really enjoying both of my non-fiction reads so far. The other option I had, which was also sent to me by a publisher, so thank you to Walker for sending me this one, is Concrete Rose by Angie Thomas, which I don't know why I didn't want to pick this up at the time, but Crying in H-Mart just was calling out to me. But this one was also sent to me and I received today from the publisher, and I'm really excited to read this one. So this one follows Maverick Carter, who is Star, I think she's called Star, from The Hate You Give. It's her dad, but it's set when he was a teenager. So it's 17 years before the events of The Hate You Give, and it focuses on him and him growing up as a black teenager, a black male teenager. And I'm really excited to read this one. It came out earlier in the year, I think it came out last January, so a while ago now, but Very excited to read something else by Angie Thomas. Haven't read anything by her since On the Come Up came out, but I do really like her books, so I'm excited to get to this one. Thank you again to the publishers for sending me that one, and to Picador for Crying in H Mart. I've also started Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. I think I'm 5 or 6 chapters into this one so far, so I'm not massively far into the book. I'm probably only 50 pages or so, and it's quite a thick one, but I'm excited to see where this one goes. From what I can tell so far, it's about a daughter who is kind of given to extended family, I think it's extended family, to kind of be looked after, and then it talks about her as she's grown up, as she's out and looking for a partner and things like that. And I'm having some mentions of Mansfield Park so far, but not too much, so I'm interested to see where this one goes. But anyway, looking forward to reading more of this one. So weirdly, my current reads are now really orange in scale, because all of them are on the same kind of spectrum, but that's cool. I like that. But anyway, I'm gonna have a bath and pick up, probably read more of Black Joy and try and get through this one, which I'm really enjoying so far. I like that it is only kind of like 10-page little essays at a time as well, so looking forward to reading more from this one and reading more of Crying in H Mart and Mansfield Park. So yeah, I will update you tomorrow to wrap up this vlog. Hi, once again, it is Monday. I didn't have the energy to end this vlog last night, so I thought I would jump on today and end it properly when I, you know, had light and more energy, because again, I worked the weekend, which was very busy, but I thought I would just wrap it up today. I have a couple of things to update you on and a book to show you that arrived in the past few days, and I still haven't unwrapped properly, but I'm still reading Black Joy. I am roughly halfway through, just over halfway through, and I'm really loving this collection. I love how short these stories are, but it still feels like there is a lot in here. It's a roughly almost, is it nearly 400 pages? It's nearly 400 pages. But there is 28 stories in here about various different things. We've had a radio, we've had food, we've had pride, like a pride parade. We've had literature, we've had love, we've had so many different things, which I absolutely love. Love learning about these different people's lives. There was one by Ngan from Little Mix, which I really enjoyed reading about. I'm not a big Little Mix fan or anything, but I did find the kind of discussion of fame as a black woman really interesting, and that was one of my highlights so far with this one. I read last night, might have been, no, it wasn't the last one I read, but the last one I read was about barbershops, which was also really interesting to read about the kind of culture around barbershops. But yeah, there is just so many interesting stories. I would highly recommend this book. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm just finding it, yes, so super interesting to find different perspectives. But I'm also reading Mansfield Park, which honestly I feel like it's the one I am lost the most with. Like, I just feel like I'm not following the story very well at all. It is a very thick book, and so far at the moment there is just this massive focus on a play. And the fact the like past 2 chapters or 3 chapters that I've read is just like massive focus on this play. But I think I'm around halfway through, looking at the chapters that are around this kind of place. I think I might be around here. I don't know. Maybe not quite halfway through yet, but maybe by the end of the day I will, because I have some more driving to do today. I'm going out for dinner tonight. But anyway, yeah, I'm feeling a little bit lost with this one, unfortunately, but I will carry on reading it and maybe read a summary at some point to try and kind of get my head back in the game with this one. But we will see. I'm loving the writing, as always. Jane Austen is brilliantly witty, and some of the lines that she's come out with are also absolutely beautiful, so I am really enjoying that. I also have a book to unbox. I did take the box off this because I needed the box for something else, but I left it in its wrapping because I wanted to unwrap this on camera. I haven't seen it yet. I'm fairly sure I know what this is. Oh, I love the sprayed edges. Beautiful kind of orangey yellow colour. Yay, this is the Fairyloot edition of Girls of Fate and Fury by Natasha. Ngan. I have the Fairyloot edition of Girls of Storm and Shadow. I'm not sure if they actually did one for the first book. They must have done one for the first book, but I don't think I have it. But anyway, it has these amazing yellowy orange sprayed pages, which I love. I think this is pretty much the standard cover, although the colours on the spine do look a bit different, so I think maybe it is a little bit different. But yeah, I love the sprayed edges and love the colours on the spine, and then underneath there is this beautiful purple book. Yeah, this is the last one in the Girls of Paper and Fire trilogy. I think it's going to be a trilogy. I did read Girls of Storm and Shadow when it came out 2 years ago, or before it came out, because I had a proof copy. I feel like I may reread the series before I carry on with this one, because I feel like I will be a little bit lost otherwise, but I'm very glad to be able to complete the trilogy and have this beautiful Fairyloot edition of it as well. So yeah, I'm gonna head off now. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Sorry I didn't manage to end it on Sunday as I normally do. I just, I'm so busy at the moment at the weekends. And I feel like I've not gotten that much reading done in the past few days, but I'm still reading a fair amount, which is nice. But anyway, I'm gonna head off. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe and all of that stuff, and I will see you next week with another video. Bye.